Hey, what up, y'all? It's back with new content TV. All right, so I need you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Okay, so LeBron, the flop. You know, what you guys got to say now, man? You know what I mean? I know everybody is on LeBron right now for flopping a lot. He got a history of flopping, and they call him the flop and everything. He won the game. He literally won the game. Come on, let's keep it real, y'all. He literally won the game by 1 point against South Sudan. You know what I mean? Everybody's shocked. Everybody's shocked that Sudan gave them a hard time. But aren't they black? I mean, black people are known for playing basketball pretty good, huh? Right? I mean, I don't understand. Um, yeah, I don't understand why people are surprised. I'm not. I'm not really surprised. But the only okay. Well, I will say this. I'm surprised that the U.S. team almost lost. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not surprised that these people from South Sudan will play. You know what I mean, at that level, because you got a couple of people. I think it's like 5 players in there that's former NBA players, yo. I mean, most of you guys don't know that, but there's some in there that used to play for the NBA, and I think and I think a 17-year-old in there, he's going to be playing for Duke. So you got some talented players in the South Sudan team, man. And it's no wonder that they gave the U.S. team a hard a time. See, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell you why some of these teams in some of these countries basketball program are doing pretty well. That's because most of them get their training in the U.S. That's why they play in it. They take that knowledge and they take it back to their country. So it's not like these countries are just balling out of control and they just, you know what I mean, they're just better than the U.S. when it comes to basketball. No, they're pretty much, these people are coming to the U.S. They're getting drafted and playing in the NBA, and they're learning all the training, all those drills that they do, all those little drills that they do, the shooting drills and all that. They're taking that knowledge and they're taking it back to their country, man, and teaching their people, you know what I mean, how the U.S. plays. That's why, I don't know, man, so I don't know. Hey, they're gonna have to probably stop doing that. They're probably gonna stop recruiting people from other countries, man. You know what I mean? And they even do that in the military. In the military, you got these other nations training alongside U.S. Marines, U.S. Army, U.S. Army Special Forces. You got other nations training alongside Navy SEALs and Delta Force and all that, man. And they're taking that knowledge, they're taking it back to their country. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful about sharing knowledge, man, to these other places, because why would you want to compete against yourself? You know what I mean? You're literally teaching them how to be you, how to beat you, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to be careful with that, man. Teaching all these people, man, all the U.S. experience and stuff like that, and taking it back to their country. You know what I mean? Because as we seen, man, South Sudan are they use that NBA knowledge that they got in the NBA, man, and almost beat the U.S. team. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, they were balling out of control, man. They were balling out of control. South Sudan, man, they were doing their thing. Man, let's not forget that the U.S. Team was leading by 20 points at first. So let's not act like, like they didn't do, like they did pretty bad. They didn't. They felt they got comfortable. They're like, oh man, this is gonna be a boring game. I think they fell asleep, and when they realized that they were starting to lose and they were going to lose, they woke up. You know what I'm saying, y'all? They woke up and decided to play basketball, man. You know what I mean? My advice to the U.S. team, man, don't underestimate these people, man, because they are sending their players and their students to the U.S. to get that training and come back with that knowledge. What my advice to the U.S. is, play like y'all gotta play like it's the fourth quarter, and play like you playing for a championship against any team. I don't care if they're from Japan, China. You gotta play hard from the beginning. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh man, it's just China, oh it's just Serbia, oh it's just South Sudan. Yeah, you can't have that type of attitude, man, because when you have that type of attitude, you only win by 1 point. You know what I mean? And I understand, man, when you're good at something, you get cocky, you get arrogant, but you know what I mean? You gotta play, you gotta be humble when you play, because when you're humble when you play, man, you know what I mean? You take your team serious. You gotta take those people serious, because they're not playing around, man. They're over there dunking, they're over there flying niggas over niggas' head. I think one of the guys almost Vince Carter somebody. Everybody remember that time when Vince Carter jumped over that tall, oh man, I forgot what country they were playing. I think it was Russia or something. I don't know, man. Vince Carter jumped over that dude and dunked on him, man. That almost happened to one of the players in the U.S. team. They almost got dunked over by a South Sudan player, boy. No cap. You know what I mean? He threw a holly hoop. I think one of the dudes shot a jumper, it missed it. Dude flew in the air, caught it, and dunked over one of us. Man, I didn't know which team was the U.S. team. You know what I mean? I had to look at the shirts. I mean, that's how good South Sudan was playing, man. Because if you like walking into the game and you don't know what's going on, and you see how South Sudan playing, you would think that that's the U.S. team. If you walking in the middle of the game, you know what I mean, and you skip the starting of the game and all that, all you doing is just watching them play. Like, let's say for like the second quarter, you just watching the two teams. You just walked in from work and you just sat down and start watching TV. You would think that the white team was the U.S. team. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas throwing holly hoops and jumping over. I mean, they was balling out crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, at the end of the day, y'all, the moral of the whole story is that you cannot take these teams for granted, man. You can't be out here, you know what I mean? You can't be out here thinking that everything's gonna be a cakewalk, because obviously it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. You know what I mean? And they showed you it's not a cakewalk. I won't even be surprised if they face South Sudan again. I won't even be surprised if South Sudan wins silver. I think they might win silver. They were playing NBA level basketball, y'all. If they play like that against every other team, that's the closest you can get, like playing like the U.S. team. It's how South Sudan was playing. The way South Sudan was playing, it's like equivalent to the U.S. team, y'all. If they keep playing like that on that same pace, they're going to win silver. No cap. And I can't wait for that. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, man, the next time the South Sudan play, I'm going to watch. Yeah, man, they're getting a lot of fans, man. They're getting a lot of fans. What's that nigga name from that he used to play for the Boston, man? Damn, I should have done my little research, whatever, man. You know what I mean? But I think he was on First Take. Paul Pierce? Yeah, I think it was Paul Pierce, y'all. Paul Pierce, man. He was talking mad crap. Like, he was like, man, South Sudan about to get blown out by 40 points and all that. The nigga had to apologize. He had to apologize, man, and ended up giving South Sudan their props. One thing I learned about life, man, is that I'll never judge this book by its cover. I do never underestimate my opponent, my enemy, whoever you want to call it, man, because God got a way to humble you, man, and show you that your assessment of people and your assessment of life could be wrong. And that's to let you know that you're just human. You can't predict how somebody else is going to perform, you know what I mean? Because you're not God, you know what I mean? And that's a humbling experience for Paul Pierce, man. You know what I mean? He thought that it was sweet out here, you know what I mean? And they ended up balling out of control. I remember that time when the U.S. won silver, and I know they were embarrassed. That had to be very embarrassing for the U.S. team to win silver, man. When it comes to basketball, the U.S. should never come second place. You know, and like I said, gotta stop teaching these other countries, man, how to ball out, because y'all, listen, man, they know y'all program. They know y'all program, man. They're gonna take it to their country. They're gonna teach their players how to play, man, and beat you at your own game. Niggas think it's a joke, man. Niggas think it's oh man, we just gonna, you know what I mean? Hey, if they want to get an education in the United States, man, they're gonna do so. If they want to get into a basketball program, they're gonna do so. I mean, you can't. I'm just talking, y'all. I mean, you really can't stop other countries and other players from coming into the U.S. to play basketball. If they got the grades and they got everything together and all that, I mean, you can't stop that. You know what I'm saying? If they got the visa up to date and all, you can't stop that. You know what I mean? It's just inevitable, man. It's gonna come a time when these nations, man, they gotta become really good at basketball. It seems like they're catching up because Sudan just became an independent country, and yeah, man, they just became an independent country. What's that nigga? What's that dude name? Luke Bowler? I don't know. It was a tall, I think Bowl or something like that. Used to play for the Rockets, if I'm mistaken. Y'all correct me, man. I'm kind of like iffy on my NBA history, but yeah, man. These guys, man. That guy, he ended up trying to better his country because he's from Sudan as well. So he tried to better his country and all that, and he took that knowledge, the NBA knowledge, to the country and everything, man. So they did pretty good. They shocked me. I never really seen a team actually since they lost a couple of years ago, and they only ended up winning the silver medal. That's about the last time I seen the U.S. kind of struggle like that, man. It seems like they're struggling again. You know what I mean, y'all? So it's I don't know, man. We will see what happens next. I hope that this will be a wake up call for them, man, because you can't just put your bench to start first. You know what I mean? You got to start your starters first. You know what I mean? And because they're playing serious basketball. See, they're not playing for fun. For them, it's not fun. For them, everybody wants to be that nation to be say that they beat the U.S. in basketball. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So they're not. They out there playing for pride. You know what I mean? So the U.S. team, they just out there. They already got their millions. They don't give it. You know what I mean? They just out there playing for for more fame, recognition, and stuff like that. But these people are these people are hungry, man. They playing for pride, and then once they win that game, once they beat the U.S., man, you never know, man. Like people gonna start looking them up on Instagram and all that. This is a chance for them to become famous, man. When you play against the U.S. team and you beat them, this is your chance to monetize your 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? So you can't, yeah, man. So the U.S. gotta understand, man. The U.S. team gotta understand, man. You gotta play hard. You gotta play. You know what I mean? You gotta not underestimate these people, man. Because these people, they come to ball out, man. I think one of them South Sudan people was wearing some Jordans, man. I don't know, man. I think one of them was wearing Steve Curry shoes. Shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, they was wearing Steve Curry shoes, man. Yeah, they was out there balling out of control. So yeah, man, but it took LaFlop, man. I really don't, man. I hate to say it, man, but man, LaFlop, man. Why LaFlop had to take over the game, man? I thought, what's his name? What's his name? Anthony Anderson, Richard. What's that nigga name, man? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The nigga said that he's gonna take over the game and all that. Anyway, so he didn't step up. I thought he was gonna do his thing, man. But you had LaFlop, man. He had to take over. Well, he's a veteran. He's been in the game for a long time, so it's not surprising that they will get him the ball. They could have given it to either LeBron James or Curry. It doesn't really matter. But it was a risky situation. Curry going for a three would have been bad because they really didn't need a three. So it was a smart move for the flop. You know what I mean? To well. I'm gonna give him this one, man. I'm gonna call him LeBron on this content. You know what I mean? On this content, I'm gonna give him the respect, and I'm gonna call him LeBron, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So it took LeBron, man, to win the game by one. And truthfully, man, I think he really did get fouled. This wasn't no flop thing. One of the plays, LeBron did get fouled. I seen when he got fouled, but they didn't call it. So whatever. So they didn't call it for that. Whatever. You know what I mean? So it's all good. We'll take the one. We're gonna see what's gonna happen on the next game, and I hope that they took this as a learning lesson, man, and not play sluggish, sloppy. You know what I mean? And go out there and perform because, like I stated before, these people are coming to play for pride. They don't, you know what I mean? Especially the U.S. See, they don't really. I seen it because they don't really play hard against other teams. But when it comes to the U.S., niggas want to show out, man. Niggas want to play real extra hard, like they're playing for like the championship because these nations look up to the U.S. basketball team. They see them on TV. They you know what I mean, and all that. So to play against the U.S. and to beat them, that's some. They're gonna be hungry out there in that court. They gotta be tight. They gotta tighten up that defense, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, this back when we come to TV, so I need y'all to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. All right. Ring the bell. Donate to the channel. All right, y'all. Go to the merch. Copy out some merches as well too. And all right, y'all. So holla at me.